show it to them real quick. All y'all are looking for is that there's no doctrine on that document, right? There's no markups or anything like that. Okay, so now where are you going to go? Okay, go ahead. And so if he were going to impeach, if you might have the lines marked, so that's why I put that comment, if you might show them on there, they might ask what you're going to ask them for. So you've shown your statement to the witness, and here's what you're going to do.
This is just one statement, correct?
Yes.
And if there's a signature on this, which there is, you're going to ask what?
That is your signature at the end of it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
Looking at page 1, beginning with line 14, you say in your statement that...
And then you're going to read word for word whatever it is. So maybe it's something here.
You say in your statement that your name is Kim Ho Park and that you are the assistant. Then I am the assistant undersecretary of state for the state of Arizona. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, and that's it. You're done. Okay, don't ask any other questions. Okay, you are getting in front of the jury what she just lied about. You're not going to try to say, so you lied, right? You're not doing any of that. You're just getting the evidence out. And if you'll notice, look at how we built up here. You stated that I confirmed what she said her testimony was. Sworn statement. In that statement, you were going to tell the truth. I approached, I gave her statement. This is that sworn statement, right? This is your signature on it, right? Looking at this page and all of in the actual problem package, you'll see a number next to every single line. On this line, at this point, you said this. Isn't that right? She's going to say yes, and you're done. The damage is done. She's an unreliable witness, and you can go after yourself. Do what?
She said this wrong.
Yeah. So that's it. That's impeachment. That's what you really want to do if someone makes up something, or if someone goes outside. If they lie, if they go outside of the problem, you impeach them just like that. Okay? And it's really powerful. You'll get a ton of points as an attorney for doing an impeachment, especially if you do it very systematically and in a very sort of damning way against the opponent. This person made it up. I mean, they are completely fabricating this content. Don't follow up. Just move on to your next question. You don't need to ask anything else about this. The jury understands what happened, and you just proved that this witness was lying on the stand. Okay? So that's what you would do. A lot of times that happens under cross-examination, and so that's when you really would want to do it. Remember that as the person who did direct examination, or as the person who did cross-examination, once you've finished and you've passed your witness to the other side, if they ask additional questions, you get to ask them additional questions at the end too. If they don't ask additional questions, you're done. Witness is dismissed. Okay? So our witness is dismissed. She can go back to her seat. So you can do redirect, recross. Closing statements. So we got about a few minutes left until we run out of time. So let's talk closing statements. So let's get our two attorneys who would be doing closing. We're going to start out with prosecution. Okay, start out with our prosecuting attorney. You're going to, the judge is going to ask for what? So we got both sides have rested. We're all done. What are you going to ask for now? Okay, so you're going to ask who first? Nope. Person with the burden of proof. Yeah, you always start with the prosecution, okay? So go ahead and ask.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and so then you're going to come and do your closing statement. So in the closing statement, what are we focusing on?
What your opening
opening statement, and it's released your opening statement if they try to deceive, the defendant was trying to deceive the police officer into getting away. Our opening statement is.
Okay, so we're retelling our story.
Retelling the story.
Okay, now we have the benefit of all of the testimony. Okay, so the thing we want to focus on in the closing statement, you want to be kind of front and center right here, facing your jury. And so what you want to focus on is what? What are we going to talk about? What did we hear from the police officer?
That he received the passport from Colton.
Okay, and what did we hear from the Undersecretary of State?
That Texas did not recognize the Kingdom of Hawaii as a kingdom.
Yeah, as a kingdom. Okay, right? So we've proven these elements of our case, right? So we're kind of going back to the jury charge stuff, and we're talking about those key elements that we have to prove. That the defendant intentionally gave this passport over, that it was a fake document, that this is not a recognized country, and he did that, or she did that, for the purpose of getting out of her speeding ticket. So you're going to sort of argue the point. You're going to talk about the defendant and the defendant's testimony. You're going to talk about the minister's testimony, right? And you're going to really downplay what she said as far as there being a kingdom. It's like it's made up. It's not real. So you want to really downplay their witnesses, support your witnesses, and what are you asking for at the end? What do you want me to do at the end of your closing statement?
Vote for me, please.
Well, to agree that the Kingdom of Hawaii isn't real and that the defendant lied just so he could get out of the speeding.
Okay, and so that would mean he is.
Well, guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
So you want me to find the defendant guilty on the charge, right? And that's pretty much your last sentence. That's where you want to end. Find the defendant guilty. Okay? And then you're going to have a seat, and then, yeah, you can go ahead and head back. And then we're going to get our defense counsel. Now realize the prosecution has 4 minutes for their closing statement. The defense has 5. And then the prosecution comes back for rebuttal of 1 minute. Okay? So now we've got our defense, so we're going to invite our defense counsel to do what?
To do your closing statement.
Okay, so as defense counsel, what are you focusing on?
On trying to get the jury to vote that he was not guilty of trying to impersonate, and that's for the actual.
Okay, and so what are you trying to raise in our minds? Think of burden of proof. What are you trying to make me do?
I'm not guilty.
Okay, but what is that called? The reasonable doubt? So what are you trying to get me to do?
To find him not guilty beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah, so you're really focusing on that reasonable doubt. Well, there is some reasonable doubt, right? There's some reasonable doubt because the defendant paid for their credentials. They thought they were legitimate. And he produced them when the officer asked for
You
it.
even
Right?
gave him his passport.
Yeah, gave him a passport when he was asked
You
for
didn't
it.
intentionally try to impersonate.
Exactly. He believes he's a minister. What else? What else we got? We got the foreign minister from the Kingdom of Hawaii. And so what did that witness tell us?
That the Hawaii Kingdom, it was recognized under international law in 2001.
Okay, so we're going to talk about how this is a legitimate, or at least people believe it is legitimate, right? So we're going to talk about that. So, what else? What do you want to end with at the end of your closing?
I hope you will find my defendant not guilty.
Good job. Okay, and then you're going to have a seat back. And so what are we going to do with our prosecutor? Okay, so let's do a quick rebuttal. So what do you think the rebuttal needs to cover? Yeah, so our judge would do what? You would ask the prosecution for? Yeah, okay, and so then? Okay, and then you're going to come forward. So what do you think this 1 minute needs to do?
Prove why.
Proof that the defendant is so wrong.
Yeah, it needs to respond to what they just said. It needs to respond to the defense. And so that's what you really want to focus on, is responding to the defense and point out the best argument you have about the defense, right?
Objection.
Okay? No objections during closing. So that's basically it. So it's 1 minute, it's real short, and then you're going to have a seat back. And what are you ending with at the end?
That jury proved that the defendant is guilty.
Yeah, find that the defendant is guilty, right? And so that's it. And so you're done. And so that's basically what we've gone through today. We talked about opening statements. We did our direct and cross. Talked about redirect or recross if you have any. Closing statements. Reminder for you. Take the problem, start with that jury charge at the beginning, break it down, go through defense and prosecution sides, and start putting together your questions based upon that. And that's really a good way to kind of get started with the problem. But you guys have done the trial. This is your first trial. You are now trial experts at this point. Okay, you have done the whole trial, beginning to end. You've even presided over your first trial, right? And so that's really the point, guys. You've done it. The only thing you really need to add is be familiar with the problem and put the pieces together for yourself and asking the questions and doing the cross. But you've done it. I mean, that's it. That's all there is to it. Don't forget your piece of evidence. Okay? But you've walked through any questions that I can answer before we wrap it up.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When the defendant said, I hope you find him not guilty, can you say that? Can you say, I hope?
Well, no, you really want to say, we ask that you find the defendant not guilty. Yeah. You really want to be as assertive with your position as you can be. Yeah, so we ask you to do this. You're asking the jury to do something. Yeah, got a question? Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, Judge Hoffman might be, just don't move anything around. Any other questions?
I just want to say some words into the microphone.
Okay, well guys, y'all are good. We're a little bit over time, so your coaches or teachers are probably already looking for you. So go ahead and head down to meet your group, but I hope to see you at State in March. Okay? State in March, that's the goal. So thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Have a great
weekend.
It's great. We have 4 experts. 4 experts.
So cool.
Yeah, 4 experts. So good.
Yeah.